Hey folks, Charlie and Westeros here, back with a video that I've been wanting to make for some time, and that is to discuss 5 characters in Game of Thrones whose fate, backstory, or overall objectives will not be completely answered by the end of the TV series. While this video is mainly centered on the show, I will make mention of those points that are potentially also applicable to the books. Before I get into that, however, I would like to announce that this video is specifically brought to you by the iOS medieval fantasy game Art of Conquest. Although my channel is certainly not a gaming channel, and this game is not Game of Thrones related, it is one that I truly do wish to share with you all, as I've been really enjoying my time playing it so far. From my own perspective, Art of Conquest sort of combines different amazing aspects from a variety of great mobile games out there, in the sense that you have a real-time strategy element to it, but it also includes a bit of an RPG element in that you get to control a bunch of different heroes, level them up, equip them with weapons, all the while engaging in battles with soldiers under your command. Although it really doesn't show from where I'm at in the game, the battles can get to be pretty intense the more you advance, to the point where there will be more than 500 units on the screen at a time during your battles. The one element of the game I think does kind of resemble Game of Thrones, however, is that there are a bunch of different factions vying for control of the map, so you are quite literally changing the borders of each nation through coordinating attacks with other players as you fight in the name of one of the 7 kingdoms. You can see there are some other characters meandering around the map as well as another player's city on the screen, and although I haven't really engaged in much of the PvP element, I do know that it is a big part of the game, and something that really makes it quite immersive, especially since you aren't only fighting against other players, but you're also helping out your allies by lending them troops to fight off or defend their cities against your common enemies. Meanwhile, something more in line with the mythological beast-type videos I make is the fact that along with humans, there are different fantastical races you can play with, like the Lich or Dwarves, and there are apparently many more going to be released soon as well. Alright, I think I fanboyed enough over this game, and I do have a video I promised you all, so now let's get right into my list, starting off with number 1, TALISA MAEGYR. The first mysterious character I would like to address is the show-only character of TALISA MAEGYR. Those of you who are fans of Game of Thrones back when Season 3 was airing will probably also remember the wide range of theories and rumors circulating about Talisa's true role in the show. Some pegged her as a Lannister spy, others theorized that she would eventually bring a powerful Volantene army from her homeland in order to exact vengeance against the Freys and Lannisters for killing Robb Stark. Of course, that was before we found out that she herself would also be killed at the Red Wedding. What makes Talisa a truly fascinating character actually comes from her family name and origins. Being a noble of Volantis, she speaks extensively of her aversion with regards to the rampant slavery in her city, which does help set up the popularity of the faith of the Red God in Volantis when Tyrion pops by that city in Season 5. Meanwhile, in the books, Maegor is the family name of Malakwo, one of the city's ruling triarchs, who favors the city's old aristocracy, as well as potential war against Daenerys Targaryen. Naturally, there is only so much info the show can adapt from the books, and as such, the role of Talisa was more likely just to be that of a fill-in for the book version of Robb's wife, Jane Westerling, and only to be killed off in dramatic fashion at the Red Wedding as well. As a result, any storyline involving Talisa's origins or her family in the story in any greater manner will almost certainly not be taken up, though inclusion of her backstory would certainly have made for an interesting addition with respect to the final 2 seasons of the series. Number 2, SYRIO FOREL / JAQEN HGHAR. One of the age-old questions in Game of Thrones and A Song of Ice and Fire was whether or not Arya's water-dancing sword trainer in SYRIO FOREL was in fact the same individual who would later become her assassin mentor in the form of JAQEN HGHAR. As such, this number on the list combines those 2 characters. To start off with SYRIO FOREL, many have cited the fact that his alleged off-screen murder by Meryn Trent was a clear and overt demonstration that the swordsman was still very much alive and would make a reappearance. That hope, however, seems to have been dashed considering George R.R. Martin has made very overt statements that would indicate the fact that SYRIO is most likely dead, and as a result, we will most likely not hear from him again, both in the show as well as the books. This does, however, bring me to the character of JAQEN HGHAR, who appears to Arya shortly after her escape from King's Landing as a prisoner traveling with Yoren of the Night's Watch to serve at the Wall. Without going through the evidence behind this theory in too much depth, many have speculated that SYRIO FOREL was in fact really just JAQEN masquerading as the former First Sword to the Sea Lord of Braavos. Whether or not this is truly the case, the show really hasn't spent all that much time developing the backstory of the man named, or the man posing as the man named JAQEN HGHAR in Game of Thrones. Given the actor's German accent, the creators chose to play him off as being Lorathi. Of course, that only potentially speaks to the identity of the typical face being worn by JAQEN HGHAR. Given the climactic ending for Arya's arc as a faceless woman at Braavos, it looks like the assassin trainer's role has come to an end in the Game of Thrones TV series, and as such, we will probably not be hearing from him anymore in the show, leaving what questions we had or have for him still unanswered. Number 3, SHAE. SHAE. Those of you who have seen my earliest videos are most likely well aware of my qualms with this character's role in the Game of Thrones TV series. Long story short, while I understood her purpose in the book series, I felt that her betrayal of Tyrion in the TV series kinda came out of left field. But that's a rant for a completely separate video. Anyway, GOT SHAE is apparently supposed to be from the Free City of Lorath, who traveled to places including Dorne and Volantis, and has been working as a prostitute before becoming Tyrion's lover. Much beyond that, however, her backstory is relatively unknown. Up until her betrayal, she does seem to equally genuinely care about others, making her betrayal all the more bizarre. Among other things, the specifics as to how she got with Tywin are also unknown in the TV series. Moreover, the fact that SHAE's actress Sibel Kekili was spotted on the location for Meereen during the filming for the 6th season led many of us to suspect that she might make an appearance in a flashback scene for that season. However, that was not the case. Given these facts, it appears that any possible plot development for SHAE's character in the TV series has inevitably ceased. Number 4, QUAITHE. In the Song of Ice and Fire book series, QUAITHE, the Shadowbinder from SHAE, is one character who is at the center of a number of truly intricate and interesting theories. What makes her especially interesting in the books is that she is constantly appearing to Daenerys after their initial meeting in Qarth, offering a variety of cryptic messages and prophecies. As a result, many fans of the books are constantly wondering who this woman truly is. Meanwhile, in the show, the SHAE woman does make an appearance, however brief, in Season 2. She warns Jorah Mormont of the men who covet Daenerys' dragons, and is also shown painting a sailor with some kind of protective design during his crossing through Old Valyria. Beyond that, however, neither she nor her prophetic messages have made an appearance since. As a result, we'll almost certainly have to wait until the last 2 books are out to potentially find out more about this character, rather than expect any new info to come out from the TV show. Number 5, Melisandre. Undoubtedly one of the most mysterious characters in the series. Countless videos on YouTube, including one of my own, have featured the Red Woman in them. Her origins in particular have been the source of many discussions, and while we get a glimpse of her origins in the book, this is certainly not something we get in the TV series, other than a quick shot of what looks to be her true form as an old woman, indicating that Mel is in fact, you guessed it, most likely a very old woman, if she is even truly alive. Moreover, it appears that her role in Season 7 could be much more limited than the previous seasons, focusing mainly on her bringing Jon Snow and Daenerys together in combating the threat of the White Walkers. Coupled with the fact that the disputes in Westeros and the threat of the White Walkers are at the forefront of the final season of Game of Thrones, we will very likely learn very little of Melisandre's origins by the end of the TV series, as her story arc seems to be on the back burner compared to the bigger issues at hand. Alrighty folks, that is all for this video. Are there any characters you think I left out that deserve to be on this list? Did I make any points you agree or disagree with on this list? If so, please let me know in the comment section below. As always, thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe if you enjoyed, and I will see you all next time.